Hey, what's going up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Now, recently, we got some pretty exciting news, and some of you might not know yet. It depends if you follow D&D. And I'm not talking Naruto 5e, which is usually what the channel is about, but just regular D&D stuff. For those of you that didn't hear, they had a new announcement recently about ONE D&D. Now, this thing is, from what I can tell, basically 6th edition. I think they just don't want to call it that because they feel like maybe the rules or something aren't going to be changed enough, or they feel like calling it 6th edition just might not be right for it, whatever the case may be. But there is one thing in particular that I found really interesting, and honestly I'm quite excited for. Now before we hop into the video, per usual I gotta ask, y'all hit that sub button. Do your boy a favor. I looked at the stats and over half of y'all aren't even sub watching the channel. And hey, if you like the content, if you watch regularly, or you just enjoy what you're seeing, it's free and it helps out a ton. It really means a lot. We're already past 600, which is insane. The support has been so good. So if you wouldn't mind dropping a little sub, it means a lot and it will do a lot. Now, back to your regularly scheduled program. Now, as I said before, ONE D&D is some changes made to 5th edition. It's kind of the way they put it. They're trying to keep the core rule set the same, but just add some content, I suppose, add some more stuff. All they've released thus far is character customization. They kind of have the baseline character customization that'll be in this new handbook and this new rulebook. If you want to check that out, you can go to their website directly and download it right now and play test it, give them feedback, all that good stuff. But the crazy part, and what I absolutely love, is the gameplay that they released for their new online service. When it comes to playing D&D and stuff online, there's plenty of different resources. We personally use Roll20 here on this channel for our campaign. Roll20 is great. It's awesome. It's been around a while. They made a ton of good updates. But I'm going to be honest here, it is nothing compared to what they have shown. So as you can see here, I'm just going to overlay the gameplay that you can see that they have posted on their channel when it came to them introducing it. And oh my goodness, it looks so crisp. It looks so freaking good. The detail, the 3D environments, all of that stuff is something you just don't get on other tabletop RPG playing sites. Now, I want to quickly go over a few things that is what really made me excited and what made me just feel like I needed to make this video. One, they managed to absolutely nail giving you a 3D environment that you can go through, explore, and do all these things while not taking away the feeling of Dungeons & Dragons. One thing they could have done is made it feel like a genuine RPG game of the character models having weird movements and you actually walking around, but instead it still looks like a tabletop game. You have pieces that have bases, they move around, they get set on top of things and stuff of that nature, which I really, really appreciate. Because they could have very easily have done something else that didn't give you that same tabletop feel that I think is just genuinely important and really adds to the element of playing D&D. Now this is kind of a niche one that I found really exciting just because of my strategy head and what I like to do. It's going to remove the grid system, which is so cool. Now, obviously when you're playing D&D, you usually use a grid system because it makes it easier to measure out 5 feet, movement, things like that. Because of the way this is set up, as you can see here, when you're dragging your character to move them, you just get a measuring bar. That'll put you exactly where you want to be, whether it's 13 feet away, 20 feet away, 80 feet away, whatever it may be, which is going to give you so much more freedom of movement and let you really play with ranges and let you really play with different things. And it might allow for things to start having very funky ranges, right? You're not going to be locked at a 25-foot range because it could be 23, it could be 34, it could be 186, right? It can be anything you want it to be. And just the freedom of movement that you will have with this system is oh so good. Now there's one more aspect of this I want to talk about, but in all honesty, this is purely speculation on what it could be or what they could do with this. And it all is going to depend on how customizable they make this. This looks really cool and it looks really nice, but there is a few things that could make it over the top, absolutely chef's kiss perfection. And that is, one, letting you load in your own 3D models. We don't know if this is going to be an option yet, but if it is, oh, you better believe there are going to be some absolutely just beautiful looking, sick campaigns where your character models fully realize 3D inside the game. Not only that, but allowing for custom spells and things of that nature would be so good. Because I'm just guessing here that since it's a pretty seemingly automated system, it's going to have all the base D&D rules laid in, right? You can click cast fireball, click the opponent, and it'll automatically do all those calculations and rolls for you, which takes away some of that annoyance that you might have. And I'm sure there's probably ways to put in manual rolls and things like that. But if they let you create your own, I want to say jutsus because of Naruto 5e, but your own spells, your own movement options, things of that nature, and they really let you customize your own stuff, this could be absolutely insane. And for homebrew content like Naruto 5e, because it's inherently just a giant homebrew of a different way to play Dungeons and Dragons, if you can import that into the game, this is going to be crazy. And this is honestly going to be the single best way to play tabletop RPGs online, and I really don't think it'll be close. Now, they did already say that dungeon masters and people like that are going to be able to put in their own dungeons and kind of work their own thing, putting in enemies and things like that. But obviously they didn't release if you can really import your own models and import your own stats and things of that nature. Or if it's locked into these certain things and it's locked into the rules that specifically guide Dungeons and Dragons. And if that's the case, it's still going to be really neat and it's still going to be such an impressive tool to be able to use. But it might make it a little less fun because you can't be as exuberant with it as you might want to be. But nonetheless, I'm still going to be excited for it. It looks oh so good. Now for ONE D&D, that's all I really wanted to report on. If you want to see more and you want to hear them talk about it, you can go to their website or even their official video. I'll go ahead and link the announcement video down below so you can go check that out if you are interested in it. But it's just insane. I mean, this could be absolutely crazy. And the fact that it's alpha footage makes it even better. Now, obviously they could have done a vertical slice, which for those of you that don't know, that just means that they specifically rendered and created a portion of the game that's very, very small and minute compared to the whole thing. But it still shows off what this thing is capable of. And really the last thing I want to mention too is the fact that there might be pre-made campaigns. If they allow for a lot of customization, people might be able to just build their own campaign where NPCs have dialogue trees that you go through and you can hit certain parts of the world. And obviously that won't allow the freedom that a regular D&D campaign still would. So it won't quite be the same thing as, having your own DM and things like that. But if you just have a pre-made campaign that you can run through where it's, a DM kind of went through and already created all those things, it might be really, really cool and really, really fun overall. Now that's going to be all the stuff I have for you today. Just wanted to make a pretty quick video reporting to you what I've seen and what I'm excited about and all those good things. But nonetheless, you know the drill. If you got some questions for me, you want me to talk more about ONE D&D and all that good stuff, comment down below, let me know. I'm always here for it. If you want to hit me more directly, Discord is really, really good for that. You can join our community's Discord. A ton of great people to talk to and all that good stuff. But nonetheless, I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace out, y'all.